Vrodros stands in front of the campfire, stirring the stew he's cooking. So, why look to me for help? How did you even learn I was here? Neria is crouched in front of a passed-out lightning-foot, anxiety drilling at her chest from the inside. I know a gnome in the city. He told me he learned about medicines from you. He told me he knows a centaur with deep knowledge of healing and that you would be able to help Footy. A small smirk grows on Vrodros' face. That guy? The bastard tried to put a saddle on me. I guess it's one way to make a first impression. Neria emits a faint-hearted chuckle. He says you taught him everything he knows about medicine. If Footy survives this, teach me. He ends up in this state way too often. I need to be able to help him. I'll do my best. Here, drink this. You're not well either. The Centaur. Rarely seen by most, as they are extremely reclusive. They aren't predominantly violent, but if they must defend themselves, they're a force to be reckoned with. However, they can be valuable assets at times as they're considered omen readers. Their reclusiveness is accentuated by how nomadic they are, traveling massive distances and staying far away from the drama and laws of civilization, also staying far away from other races. If you're studious, or just lucky, you'll come across tribes of centaurs in mild or hot climates. They prefer not to have to layer up too much to account for the weather. They're a race of skilled hunter-gatherers, and it's nigh impossible to see them in any sort of shelter or tent. The nomadic paths a centaur takes are continents wide, and it takes them decades to repeat. Generations pass before they'll retread lands. This can cause issue for them and any other obstacles, however, and villages or settlements may suffer from consequences they didn't know they wrought. If a centaur can't keep up with the rest of their tribe, they'll be left behind. A good many of these will end up lifeless in the woods somewhere. Some, however, learn to embrace community and civilization, and others just take to living in solidarity with themselves. But a great deal of frontier settlements owe their success to the centaurs that live with them. Though centaurs are very reclusive, they can be found trading with elves and other friendly humanoids they come across in their migration patterns. Perhaps one of those traders might save a centaur that's fallen behind, and that would be how some percentages of centaur end up living with humanoids in settlements. On to the stats. The centaur is a large monstrosity, neutral good. They have an armor class of 12. They have 6d10 plus 12, or 45 average hit points, and they have a walking speed of 50 feet. They have 18 strength, a plus 4 bonus, 14 dexterity, a plus 2 bonus, 14 constitution, a plus 2 bonus, 9 intelligence, a negative 1 detriment, 13 wisdom, a plus 1 bonus, and 11 charisma, no bonus. They have a plus 6 to athletics, a plus 3 to perception, and a plus 3 to survival. They also have a passive perception of 13, and they speak the Elvish and Sylvan languages. And they have a challenge rating of 2, measuring out to 450 experience each. The Centaur has the charge ability. If the Centaur moves at least 30 feet straight forward in a turn, and attacks with their pike, they'll deal an extra 3d6, or 10 average piercing damage. On to the actions. The Centaur has multi-attack. They'll attack once with their pike, and one other time with their hooves, or 2 times with their longbow. Their pike is a melee weapon attack with a plus 6 to hit and a reach of 10 feet, one target. On hit, the attack deals 1d10 plus 4, or 9 average piercing damage. They can also use their hooves to attack. A melee weapon attack with a plus 6 to hit and a range of 10 feet, one target. On hit, the attack deals 2d6 plus 4, or 11 average bludgeoning damage. Their last attack is their longbow, a ranged weapon attack with a plus 4 to hit and a range of between 150 and 600 feet, one target. On hit, the attack deals 1d8 plus 2, or 6 average piercing damage. Restless, Neria crouches by an unconscious lightning-foot. After hours of staring, she decides to occupy her mind with some training and grabs her bow and quiver of arrows, finding a tree to use for practice. Alright, Neria. You have nothing better to do. Nothing but time, no pressure. Just gotta practice. And so she begins, finding a knot in the tree and making that her target. She readies an arrow and fires, missing the tree entirely. Okay, hocus. She nocks another arrow and misses a second time. Again with a third arrow and missing again. She repeats this process until her quiver is empty, then goes to recover her ammunition, and yet again repeats this process, some arrows landing in the trunk of the tree. Finally, she's nocking the last arrow in her quiver for the 5th time when she's caught off guard by the whiff of an arrow past her head, finding its mark in the center of the knot on the tree. Wide-eyed, she turns around to find Vrodra as the culprit. I used to do more than just make medicines, you know. Here, let me help you. Okay. Thank you, friend. Nerya and Vrodra spent the next couple of days training together. He taught her everything he knew about archery, and had begun with medicine when Lightningfoot finally regained consciousness. Of course, he was in need of some downtime himself, so he simply treated himself to the spoils of their hunts while watching them practice their herbology.